This just in. Breaking news, Paulie. Friend of the show, Matt Harvey, has retired from baseball. The Dark Knight has retired from baseball. And, of course, when we think of Matt Harvey, we think of...
Today, obviously. Today we're honoring and supporting Qualcomm.
Yes. That's when he had an arm injury, and I wanted to talk to him about that. And he said, no, I talked about that yesterday. And we had him on. He was going to talk about Qualcomm. He was being paid by Qualcomm, and he only wanted to talk about Qualcomm. And that was it. It wasn't a long interview. And that's when I'm staring daggers into Fritzy.
Ugh,
I'm like...
it's the worst.
And it wasn't your fault. It was the PR people with Qualcomm.
Dan, today's not the day to talk about my arm surgery or baseball or the Mets or anything. It's really to honor and respect
I'll
Qualcomm.
stop by your house over the weekend. We could chat a little bit.
Yeah, like, thank God we got somebody to talk about Qualcomm. You know, that's what I've been waiting for. That's what the audience wants to hear. Tell me more about Qualcomm. But that's when I said, Fritzy, get on the phone and talk to his people. And all of a sudden, they scrambled the jets because he was on other shows later that day. And I think he had gotten word that it's quid pro quo. You can talk about who's paying you to mention their product.
He got crushed all over the media for the way he presented himself on the show.
Yes, he did. And then I thought, let's have him back on. Then he came back on, and he was fine. But the Dark Knight is retiring from baseball. Yes, Paul?
He was a promising guy. He was the 7th pick of the draft in 2010 out of North Carolina. His career really never picked up much steam. His second year, he was 9-5 at 24 years old with a nice ERA for the Mets. Then he went 13-8, and then it just went downhill. 4-10, 5-7. He was 6-14 with Baltimore in 2021. Yeah. Some off-field issues, some not so pretty
with the
stuff.
Angels.
Yeah, and do you want to play the Matt Harvey career salary game? He was in 9 years of baseball. He won 50 games and lost 66. Not great.
All right. Dark Knight. Oh, here we go.
Any excuse to play this.
Salary, 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 salary.
That's my favorite part. My favorite is it Tom in Milwaukee, I think, is the guy.
What a legend.
Tommy Green Bay? Is that who it is, Marv? Okay. All right, so career salary for the Dark Knight.
Well, here's a little hint. Remember, he started pretty well with the Mets, but he was under contract. He never got that second big deal.
Okay.
So there's a little hint for you guys.
All right. I'm going to give him $1 million per win.
Oh, $50 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Todd?
I'm going to say 66-8.
Okay. Seton?
I feel like these clues are, it's got to be like $75 million or something, right?
Marv?
Really?
$94 million.
Okay.
I got him at under $30 million for his career. After the Mets, he didn't really got paid a little bit by the Reds. The Angels, for some reason, gave him $11 million to do something. And then that's it. So he never really got the big dough.
He better do some more Qualcomm commercials to pay rent.
Is this partially our fault?
No, because he got injured before he came on. So we didn't. That's when it started to go down. You pitched for the Mets. You're a New York pitcher. You got a lot of attention. He was a single guy. He was dating models, the whole thing. Like Noah Syndergaard. Same thing with Thor. They had this pitching staff where you're like, oh, here's the future. And I'll go back. It feels like the Mets have this like every decade. Remember Jason Isringhausen? They had 3 or 4 pitchers where you go, oh my God, they're set. Who were the other pitchers?
Not Paul Wilson. It was like
it might have been.
It might have been Paul Wilson, Isringhausen, and
there was one other. But it felt like, they were making it out to be the Braves with Glavine and Smoltz and Maddox. Like, oh, well, they had Avery too. Yes, Paul.
Bill Pulsifer, Paul Wilson, Jason Isringhausen.
Yes.
Isringhausen did end up having a nice career. So did Wilson, but they kind of one went to the bullpen. They changed teams.
Yeah.